We're talking about a man who's larger than life. His personality was large. When he came into a room, he commanded the room. He was the funniest. He was the loudest. He was the storyteller. He was just so much to so many people in our community. And then one day he was gone. My name is Brad Walker. I played basketball at White County High School. I graduated in '98. I played for 4 years. It was an amazing experience, representing the city, the county that I love, and achieving the ultimate success of winning a state championship. It was my senior year. Everyone that played for Roy Whitehead would tell you that it was his belief in them and his expectation and accountability to squeeze every ounce of talent and giftedness out of you to become more than what you thought you could become. And because of our team success, each of us got individual opportunities. He believed, he came in saying, and we believed him, that there was nothing that we couldn't do. He believed it so much that we started believing it. And when someone believes in you that much, you start to work hard to prove them right. The last time I played at Roy Sewell Gymnasium, and I remember as I was being subbed out, I knelt down on the floor, and there was a warrior at the time, a warrior head, and I knelt down and I kissed the floor. And I have a picture of this. But the picture was of him, all 5'6" of him, waiting for me at the line, and him holding up his hand, ready to give me a high five and to embrace me. And he did. And the feeling I had is, this is a guy who's given me everything, and in return, I've given him everything. And the mutual respect and the love that we had toward one another as mentor and mentee, player and coach, and all that we had been through, it's a moment that I'll never forget.
So when I was looking up stuff for our documentary, I came across this Facebook page, and it was called Hold the Rope, and it was about Roy. Do you know what like that terminology is?
Yeah.
Anything behind it?
Yeah, definitely. Hold the rope. There was a saying, kind of a story that we adopted as our team mantra in 1998 season, our first state championship. It's a scenario in which the question is asked: if you were on the edge of a cliff, 40,000 feet, and you were at the end of a rope and you were dangling from the cliff, and you had one person who could be on the other end of the rope, who would hold it, that you trust, that you would know that would hold onto that rope and not let you plummet to your death, who would you choose? And it goes on to say, if you have a team full of people, or if you have a team with someone else, another person that will hold that rope, that's a good thing. But when you come to a team and you look around the room and every person on that team is one of those people that you would have hold the rope, then you got something special. And I think what each and every player that's ever played for him, his assistant coaches, would tell you is that there's no one that we could think of that we'd rather hold the rope for us than Coach Whitehead. He was tenacious. He was a fighter for the people he loved, and we know that he would do that. And so it's our thought, and what we think about during this time is we want to be the ones holding the rope for him and his legacy, and to find the truth of what happened in his disappearance. May 3rd of last year, 2024, Coach Whitehead would eventually be found out that he was missing. He's been missing since then. It was discovered 2 days later on a Sunday. I got a call when I was in church. I'm a pastor, as I mentioned. It was a Sunday morning, and we go up to find out that he was not where he normally was. He was a pulpit minister at a church up on the mountain. And some of his church members went and saw his truck in the driveway, and they opened up his house, and he was nowhere to be found. And so from that point on, law enforcement came, many different agencies, and invested a far and wide search to try to locate Coach Whited. And still to this day, there's many questions. I think that we know a lot, but still to this day, it's not been solved of what happened to Coach Whited. I think about that every day. A lot of people that loved him and he loved think about that, and there's a hole in our heart. He left an amazing impact in White County High School. The impact that he had was significant, and a couple words that come to mind when I think of Roy Whited is enthusiasm. He had an absolutely infectious personality. He was enthusiastic. He loved what he did. He was about 5'6", 5'7", about 140 pounds, and he was just a ball of energy. He would carry often a whistle or a cord around his keys, and he was constantly twirling it and slapping people on the legs. Back in those days, way back then, we used to go to lockers in between classes, and he was just always yelling out at the kids, laughing with them, chatting with them. I remember there was a saying that he would say in the mornings. He would say, "If you're going to hoot with the owls, you got to soar with the eagles in the morning." And he said, "You look dead, people. You got to look alive. Let's go. Let's get going." And so he was just always enthusiastic, and that permeated the whole culture of the school. I think also what I think about him is he was excellent. He believed that anything worth doing was worth doing excellently, and he believed that on the court and off the court. And he demanded that with grades, with how we acted in the community, and he modeled it with him as himself. Coach Whited came on the scene in 1991, and he taught world geography and history, and he was one of the best and hardest teachers that I ever had. He came in and he was passionate about teaching people about the world and about its history, and he was really difficult. And I think that really fostered respect from his peers, his colleagues, and from the administration. And it demonstrated to us that he's really serious about excellence, not just on the court, but he wants to invest and develop people holistically. He taught me so much about leadership, about manhood, about being a part of a team, things that I think about. I have 4 sons, and I, as I'm teaching them, as I'm coaching them, as I'm parenting them, I think about so many lessons that he taught me. I also, not only did I play for him, not only was he my teacher, but I worked for him. I worked auctions. I worked for him as he would do real estate sales. I learned so much just of working hard. And part-time, he was also a pulpit minister of a church up on the mountain. And he was known throughout the Upper Cumberland for being an amazing auctioneer and real estate agent. People would literally come to the auctions where he would auctioneer, and he was a storyteller. He would have all these funny sayings and quips, and people would come just to hear him auctioneer. He was that kind of individual. Coach Whited, he often had a saying that he would tell us to leave a place better than you found it. And what that meant practically is that every time we would go to a visiting locker room, we would all clean thoroughly the locker room before we left. When we went to a restaurant, we would pick up after ourselves. We went to a hotel room, he would go to insane levels to make sure that we cleaned it up. Just with the knowledge that there's the preciousness of other people. We're valuing other people, and we're going to be thoughtful of other people and try to leave a place better than we found it. And what I would say about the legacy of Roy Whited is he left this place better than he found it. He impacted not only a basketball program, but a whole community, a whole school. It's so easy because we're so busy to just forget. What I would appeal to you is don't forget. Continue to share even things that you think might be insignificant. If you remember something leading up to his disappearance that happened, or a conversation that you had with him, then call the sheriff's department, call someone and share that. Because it's like a puzzle that we're putting together. And so sometimes we think to ourselves in a small community is like, oh, they know all this stuff. This won't matter. I'll just focus on what's in front of me. I don't want to get involved in other people's affairs. And we want to know the truth. It will help us if people will talk about it, share, And then also, as I said, do what you guys are doing, and let's share. Let's share memories, share stories. Let's share the legacy of Roy Whited, because what a gift he was to so many people, including me. And we're passionate not only about finding out the truth and bringing justice or clarity of what happened in his disappearance, but we're also passionate about sharing the legacy that he had, how he lived while he was here. He made the most of his opportunity to impact people, and we're just as passionate about sharing that too.